Nintendo's celebrating 20 years of Pokemon. I know you and Ian are from a different time, but still, yes, we're from a different era.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Well, it means probably we weren't big fans of Pokemon guys.
Well, I was the thing. I loved red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, crystal. And yeah, I was like 16 when that came out. I was not a kid. I was not an adult, but I was not a kid. Look, it's part of my junior year, and so Pokemon, and so is LSD. And here's my story. Here's my fond memories of Pokemon. I played Blue, and I used to do acid and go to school, and I had a lot of study halls because I had a lot of classes finished. And
you had more than one study hall?
Yeah.
I had one study hall like my last semester.
Yeah, well, because at the time, because of my gym class attendance, I did not have the privilege to leave the grounds. That was their punishment for me. Anyways.
What did you do, Ian? That's another conversation.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyways, I would always go to these study halls, and I had one. Yeah, the study hall monitor was Eugene Ravenel, and I loved Eugene Ravenel.
Are you doxing him?
Because Eugene Ravenel would always yell at everyone else for doing bullshit in class, in study hall. I would always go to study hall, fucking out of my mind. I'd put my book bag on top, I'd pull out my Game Boy Color, and I'd play Pokemon Blue. And I played that game all the time. I adored it. I would trade with friends in high school. I beat the Elite Four on Pokemon Blue in study hall while on acid, and I jumped up, and I was like, yes! Like, I was really good at controlling myself, but the excitement was very, very heavy. And Eugene looks at me and goes, Ian, you should probably sit down. I was like, right, you got it. Okay, good. I'm going to sit down. And I sat down because he never gave me shit. Everyone else in the class, if they had their book bag on the desk, please remove the book bag from your desk. Me? I keep my fucking book bag on the desk. So it was the only time I ever acted out was when I beat the Elite Four in Pokemon Blue. And he was very calm, and he looked at me like he knew there was something wrong. He was like, sit the fuck down. So it was a big deal in high school, and I think that's something that's worth mentioning, is that even when it came out, it was not necessarily perceived as a kiddie game. There was a heavy amount of people who played through high school.
I remember my cousin was into it. Like my cousin and his brother, I don't say infantile, they liked some of the more juvenile stuff, but this was around the time just for Tamagotchi, stuff like that, where you had this infusion of these like Japanese cultural, like, I don't want to say kiddie stuff, you know what I mean? Like, remember South Park did a whole episode on the Gym Pokemon. Yeah, so
time to bomb the harbor.
This was the mid-90s was the first time you saw this, like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff. Yeah. Before that, you really didn't see the crossbreeding.
Well, with Pokemon, there was not much of a precedent for this sort of collecting RPG, this monster collecting RPG. It was unique enough that a lot of people could get beyond the kiddie outer exterior of it just to play it, because it was so different from most things that people had played.
So you have this year Nintendo's going to do their 3DS, Red and Blue 3DS bundle. Is that app? App, is that coming out this year, where you can go to Egypt and find Pokemons laying around?
Pokemon Go is coming out. What they're doing is, they're releasing Red, Blue, and Yellow as basically eShop downloads, but with wireless trading.
Oh,
so which is really cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
they should have that originally, but.
So, I mean, I think a lot of people are looking forward to that. So here we're getting, because the new 3DS, just the standard size, was never really released here, we're getting red and blue versions of that with matching faceplates. In Japan, they're getting, I think this is pretty cool because it's kind of a throwback to the game. In Japan, they're getting clear blue, clear red, clear yellow, and clear green 2DSs with codes for the matching game included.
People still like the 2DS. Maybe it took off in Japan and not here.
Yeah, I'm actually not. I don't know if
they still sell them.
Yeah, they still sell them. I couldn't remember if the 2DS got released in Japan initially. It might have, but I'm wondering if this is like a big push for it to just say, hey, they're getting the new 3DS and you're going to get the 2DS.
The 2DS, when I look at it, always reminds me of a Tiger handheld that was oversized. That's what it reminds me of.